Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list and welcome to my top 10 favorite Keanu Reeves movies. Whoa, Mr. Anders. Okay, I'll stop talking like that. Yes, welcome to my top 10 favorite Keanu Reeves movies. Yes, I know exactly what you're all thinking. Wait, Keanu Reeves has 10 good movies? Well, he has played in a lot of great movies. Say what you will about his acting. Yes, he's not the greatest actor, but he's played in some damn good movies, and I'm here to celebrate those damn good movies by giving my top 10 favorite Keanu Reeves movies. Alright, let's get into it. And for a top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions for my favorite Keanu Reeves movies are Parenthood, Dangerous Liaisons, The Devil's Advocate, The Gift, Something's Gotta Give, Little Buddha, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, yo. Yeah, all great movies, just couldn't make the top 10 list, but what did make my top 10 was my number 10, and my number 10 is Point Break. Yes, directed by Captain Bigelow, starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. And this is a very goofy, silly, cheesy 90s action movie, but it fucking works. I love this movie. This is basically about Johnny Utah. He's basically in his first week of the FBI, and he has to catch these bank robbers called the ex-presidents. These guys wear these president masks, and they rob banks, and they're also surfers. So Johnny Utah has to go undercover as a surfer and get, become friends with these guys and find out what they're doing, what their job is, and catch them and take them out. But unfortunately, he falls in love with a girl, he gets attached to these surfers, becomes friends with them, Patrick Swayze and all that stuff, and it just turns into a big, huge, high-octane, adrenaline-fueled action movie, and it's so good. The ending's fantastic. The cheesy acting works beautifully. Keanu Reeves is great as Johnny Utah. I love Patrick Swayze in this movie. I love the ending to this movie with him and Patrick Swayze putting the handcuffs to take the cuff off him. He wants to ride that big wave the one last time. It's just so awesome and epic. It's cheesy. It's ridiculous. A lot of this movie actually makes little to no sense, but it works. Captain Bigelow's direction works. The action works. The cheesy, over-the-top acting, it all freaking works. And all the bank robbing scenes are awesome. This movie is just badass and I freaking love it. Cheesy, ridiculous. A lot of people don't like it. I completely understand why, but I really enjoy it. Coming number 9 is Man of Tai Chi. Man of Tai Chi is a great movie, a very underrated, kung fu sort of movie. This movie actually has Keanu Reeves in the director's chair. He directed this movie and he co-stars in the movie as the villain. This villain who holds these underground, sort of fight clubs, and there are fights to the death, and he puts them online stuff, and basically he finds this main character who uses Tai Chi as a fighting style, and he thinks he can be the best warrior in his sort of underground fighting league. So he gets him and he basically turns him into this crazy fighter and stuff. But eventually the police officers, they want to track Keanu Reeves down and take down his little fight club by using the lead character, because the lead character realizes what he's doing is wrong. He's not using Tai Chi for good. Tai Chi is supposed to be pure. He's supposed to use it for calmness and goodness, not to kill people and stuff. This movie is a very overlooked movie, and if you haven't seen it and you're a big fan of martial arts movies, check it out. It's a damn good movie. Coming number 8 is Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yes, I know everyone's rolling their eyes already because everyone hates Keanu Reeves in this movie. Everyone knows this movie's amazing, but Keanu Reeves is the weakest part of the movie, and Gary Oldman is the best part. He is amazing. Him as Dracula is so good. But again, this is my favorite Keanu Reeves movies, not performances. Performance, yes, does play a big deal in these top 10 lists as well, but since this movie is so damn good, I had to put it on the top 10 list. But yeah, I will admit, Keanu Reeves isn't that amazing. He's not, that bad. He's just not that good. Compared to all the performances in this movie, Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Carrie Ellis, all the great performances that are in this movie, Anthony Hopkins as Dr. Van Helsing, all of them are so good in this movie, so Keanu Reeves just seems like the odd man out because his performance is just so bland. Everyone else is giving these great, amazing A-game performances, and he's just kind of wooden and just kind of there. So I wouldn't say it's bad, but compared to all of them, it's pretty bad. But the movie itself is so good. Francis Ford Coppola's direction is amazing. The colors, the cinematography in this movie, just how creepy and eerie and unsettling this movie is. It's so good. And you can't praise Gary Oldman enough in this movie. He is just so brilliant. One of the best performances I've ever seen any actor give, playing the role of Dracula. He's probably just as good as Bela Lugosi and Christopher Lee, if not better. I love this movie. Again, as Keanu Reeves goes, it's the best performance, but movie-wise, definitely one of the best. Coming number 7 is A Scanner Darkly. A Scanner Darkly is a movie I've mentioned a bunch of times, so I won't go into details. This is a very cerebral, unreal, fucked up animated movie directed by Richard Linklater. And not only is Keanu Reeves a one-on writer great in this movie, but the entire cast. This movie is so surreal, very mature. It's an R-rated animated movie, and this movie is brilliant. The writing, the animation style, the textures, the atmosphere, the thought-provoking themes in this movie are all brilliant. I've talked to death about this movie, so I won't go into details, but this movie's fantastic. One of the best movies Keanu Reeves has done. Come number 6 is My Own Private Idaho. Yes, My Own Private Idaho is a great movie. A very well directed, very well structured film. Again, a movie about homosexuality. Not as good as Brokeback Mountain, but still a very good movie. River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves both give very good, very subtle performances. There is no overacting in this movie, but there's no underacting. It's just very realistic acting, and this movie is a very art house, dramatic romance film, and it's done very well. The cinematography, the editing, the direction, and the two lead performances really work well with this movie, and I really love how this movie is structured, and I love how the movie ends. I won't spoil the ending, but it's a very clever and very thought-provoking way to end the movie. This movie is a very overlooked movie, and not a lot of people have seen it, so please check it out. And it's a very intense and very realistic romantic movie. It's not going to appeal to everyone. Some people might find it boring and a little too abstract, but it's done very well directed, and a very well acted movie, and it's definitely one of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies. It's very good. Check it out. Coming number 5 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, radical, man. Yes, 69, bro. This movie is ridiculous, but it's so freaking good. I adore this movie. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, about these two very stoner teenagers who suck at school, and basically they need to pass their history finals and stuff, and basically Ted, Keanu Reeves' character, he is basically going to be shipped off to Alaska if he doesn't pass history. So basically George Carlin comes and gives them this phone booth that travels through time, and basically Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, Bill and Ted, go through time and find all the famous historian people, and basically they learn about history. They find like Joan of Arc, they find like Socrates, and they find Billy the Kid, they find so many, Abraham Lincoln, a bunch of people, and they just learn about history and stuff, and they bring them all for their history project and stuff, even though it's goofy and silly and at times is kind of dumb, but it's so funny and so entertaining, and Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves are just so enjoyable in this movie. It's just a great classic 80s comedy, and I just freaking love it. Radical. Coming number 4 is The Matrix. Yes. Whoa. The Matrix is a phenomenal movie directed by the Wachowskis. I don't like the sequels. Yes, Matrix Reloaded has a few fun scenes. There's some really cool action scenes, like the highway chase scene is really cool. And when Neo fights the agents, not the Agent Smith scene, I hate that scene, but the opening when he fights all the agents when they're like, he's still human. Like, that's a cool action scene. There's a pretty cool little soundtrack to the movie as well. The mansion scene's also pretty badass too, but the movie is kind of dull, kind of boring. The visuals don't work. They don't hold up. It's a very dated movie. A lot of things are just, exposition. The first Matrix was a damn good movie. The third one sucked, but the first one is what I'm talking about, and this one is so great. It's smart. It's clever. I love that this whole world that we're living in is not real. It's the Matrix. It's really... The future is like 2099 or something in the year that we're in 1999, is the past, but it's fake. It's the Matrix. It's not reality. We're plugged into these robots and stuff. And basically, they take Neo out of the Matrix and bring him into the real world, Zion and stuff. And basically, they tell him all about what's happening. The machines have taken over and stuff, and they can plug themselves into the Matrix, fighting these computers and against these agents, Agent Smith and stuff. And it's a phenomenal idea for a movie. It's not entirely original, because Dark City sort of did that, but it's very well done, a very well constructed movie. The Wachowskis wrote and directed the movie very, very well. The performances are good, a bit wooden, but they are still good. The action scenes are some of the best action scenes in any 90s action movie. It's so well done, so revolutionary, it's so great. It's such an entertaining, fun action movie, and I love The Matrix. I really do. I hate the sequels. I actually enjoyed The Animatrix. The Animatrix is a great movie, but the first Matrix, so freaking awesome. I know Kung Fu. Coming number 3 is Speed. Yes, Speed is one of my favorite action movies. I love it. This is a Die Hard sequel that actually isn't a Die Hard sequel. It just feels like a Die Hard sequel. Basically, simple idea. There's a bomb on a bus, and basically if it goes under 50 miles per hour, the bus will blow up. So it's up to Keanu Reeves' character, Jack, to go on the bus and try to stop the bus and get all these passengers off the bus and stop the psychopath terrorist who put it on the bus, which is played by Dennis Hopper. And this movie is just great. It's just a great action thriller with great characters. I love the character Jack, played by Keanu Reeves. I love Jeff Daniels, Sandra Bullock, yeah, that Wildcat. And Dennis Hopper is a great, over-the-top terrorist villain. It's a great action movie. It's really intense. Basically, the most of the movie is them on the bus trying to keep the bus going at 50 miles per hour. They run through cars. They jump over bridges. And the way they get off the bus is so clever. It's so ingenious. And I freaking love this movie. Just simple as that. Just a fun action movie that I freaking adore. Coming number 2 is Much Ado About Nothing. Yes, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, hold on. Isn't this one of your favorite movies of all time? Why is this only number 2? Well, because of Keanu Reeves. Because Keanu Reeves is the weakest part of this movie. If I was just doing straight up best Keanu Reeves movie, I would put this at number 1 because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. As for movie goes, it's the best movie he plays in. But for my number 1, I'm going to go with the best performance. Just this top 10 list, because the number 1's still an amazing movie, but performance-wise, I think it's the greatest Keanu Reeves performance. That's why it's my number 1. And the reason this is number 2, Keanu Reeves is not a very big part in this movie. He plays the villain Don John, but he's only in the first 20 minutes of the movie and the last 5 minutes of the movie. He's not a big character in this movie, so I can't really put it at number 1 because it's not very fair. And he's definitely the weakest part of Much Ado About Nothing. Denzel Washington, Emma Thompson, Kenneth Branagh, everyone else in this movie is way better. Robert Sean Leonard, everyone is brilliant in this movie. Keanu Reeves is more the weak link. And Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's probably my favorite as Dogberry. This is my favorite Shakespeare play of all time. Anyone who asks what's my favorite Shakespeare play, it's Much Ado About Nothing. And my favorite Shakespeare movie, Much Ado About Nothing. Favorite Kenneth Branagh movie, Much Ado About Nothing. What's one of my favorite movies of all time? Much Ado About Nothing. I've seen this movie over 20 times. I can never get sick of it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's my second favorite Keanu Reeves movie-ish. It's tied with number 1, but number 1's just a better performance for Keanu Reeves. Just for Keanu Reeves, it's number 2. And my number 1 favorite Keanu Reeves movie is John Wick. Yes, John Wick. I can't wait for John Wick Chapter 2. That looks so great. This movie is hands down the best piece of acting I've ever seen Keanu Reeves give in a movie, period. The opening to this movie has no dialogue, and you know everything what you need to know about this character and the story and the situation and the tone of the movie. It's brilliant. And that scene when he first gets the dog and gets the letter from his wife and he gets Daisy, that is probably the most emotional and best acting I've ever seen Keanu Reeves give ever in a movie. It's so brilliant. Instantly in that little 1-minute scene, I cared deeply for this character. And then it turns into an amazing action movie when his dog dies, and basically he's gonna kill fucking Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. Yes, he has a name in the movie, but I call him Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. Alfie Allen. This movie's great. I love the villain of this movie. He's a slimy dick. He's not even... This movie's great. How they do the action scenes, how they do the gunfighting, the gung fu they call it, is brilliant. The soundtrack to this movie is amazing. It's euphoric. The tone, the atmosphere, everything, the whole world of John Wick is brilliant. I can't wait for John Wick Chapter 2 because this is hands down one of the best action movies of the decade and my favorite Keanu Reeves performance and one of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies. It made the #1 and I love this movie. Yeah, it's a bunch of doom and nothing. Should be #1, but he just gives a better performance in this movie, so it had to be #1. So yeah, John Wick all the way. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite Keanu Reeves movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? What is your top 10 favorite Keanu Reeves movies? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.